20 species in genus Citronella. Exploring the genus Citronella, a personal journey. The genus Citronella holds a special place in my botanical interests. With its vibrant array of species and ecological significance, it's a captivating group to study and grow. Spanning around 20 species, Citronella is a part of the Cardiopteridaceae family and thrives mainly in tropical and subtropical regions. Let me share what I've learned through research and my passion for plants. A brief introduction to Citronella. The genus Citronella is often confused with the popular lemongrass, Cymbopogon citratus, but they are entirely unrelated. Unlike the culinary herb, Citronella encompasses woody plants, including shrubs and small trees, found predominantly in Central and South America, Southeast Asia, and Madagascar. The name Citronella originates from the Latin word citronellus, meaning small citrus. While these plants aren't citrus, their fragrant leaves and resemblance to citrus foliage likely inspired the name. Most species in this genus are prized for their ecological roles and aromatic qualities. See full list at monsteraholic.com. Is Citronella safe for dogs? No way am I letting anywhere near my pup that Citronella stuff. I learned the hard way a few summers ago. We were having a backyard barbecue and lit some Citronella candles to keep the mosquitoes at bay. Buster, my curious golden retriever, decided to investigate one a little too closely. Luckily, I caught him before he got a lick, but the whole ordeal freaked me out. Since then, I avoid Citronella anything around Buster. It's just not worth the risk. Does Citronella repel flies? In my experience, Citronella can help a bit, but I wouldn't call it a miracle cure for flies. I love hanging out on my porch in the summer, and I usually have a Citronella candle going to try and keep pests from ruining the vibe. It definitely makes a difference compared to having nothing, but those pesky flies still manage to find their way around. Maybe a few will be deterred by the smell, but some are just plain stubborn. If you're dealing with a serious fly problem, I think you might need a more heavy-duty solution. Is Citronella safe for cats? Honestly, I wouldn't take the chance with Citronella around my cat. I've always heard that it can be harmful to them, and with my little fur ball, I play it extra safe. The smell alone seems to irritate her. She usually sneezes whenever I light a Citronella candle before I even move it outdoors. Cats are just so much more sensitive than dogs, and I don't want to find out the hard way that she reacts badly to the stuff. I'll stick to pet-safe ways of keeping bugs away when she's around. Does Citronella repel bees? Citronella can definitely help discourage bees, but it's not a foolproof solution. I've definitely noticed a difference when I'm burning Citronella candles or torches in our backyard. The bees tend to give the area a wider berth. However, there will still be a few brave ones buzzing around, especially if there are tasty flowers in bloom. I think Citronella works more as a deterrent than a total repellent. The smell kind of throws them off. If you're really trying to keep bees away, you might need a combination of approaches. Does Citronella repel gnats? Citronella helps a bit with gnats, but it hasn't been a game changer for me. We have tons of those pesky gnats around our back porch, especially in the evenings. I'll light a Citronella candle, and it seems to mildly discourage some of them. But there are always those annoying ones that seem immune to the scent. It does make being outside slightly more bearable, but it's definitely not a perfect solution for me. I think if you're facing a serious gnat problem, you might need to bring out the bigger guns. Does Citronella repel wasps? In my experience, Citronella does absolutely nothing to keep wasps away. I've tried burning candles, using Citronella-scented sprays, you name it, but those wasps couldn't care less. They seem to just fly right through the smell like it's nothing. I've even had them build nests right next to Citronella torches. It's frustrating because I really dislike using harsh chemical sprays, but sometimes that feels like the only way to get rid of the wasps and enjoy a peaceful time outdoors. How to make Citronella oil. I've never made Citronella oil myself, but I've been wanting to try. I've heard it's a relatively simple process, though a bit time-consuming. From what I understand, you need dried lemongrass, a carrier oil like olive oil, and a slow cooker or something similar for low-temperature infusion. It seems like you chop the lemongrass, combine it with the oil, and let it simmer for several hours. Then, you strain out the plant matter, and you're left with your homemade Citronella oil. I bet there are some great step-by-step tutorials online if I want to give it a go. What does Citronella smell like? Citronella has a really distinct smell. It's kind of a strong, citrusy scent, but with a grassy, almost herbal undertone. Some people find it pleasant and refreshing, like lemongrass, while others find it a bit overpowering. To me, It immediately brings to mind summer evenings and those classic yellow citronella candles you find at backyard barbecues. It's one of those smells that's pretty unmistakable once you've experienced it. Can citronella candles be used indoors? While it's technically possible to burn citronella candles indoors, I'm cautious about it. Citronella can be a bit overpowering in a closed space, especially if the room isn't well ventilated. I worry about it causing headaches or irritating my and my family's lungs. Plus, open flames indoors always make me a bit nervous. If mosquitoes are an issue inside, I prefer screened windows or maybe a smaller, smokeless option specifically marketed for indoor use. Is citronella edible? I wouldn't risk eating citronella. While citronella essential oil is sometimes used in tiny amounts for flavoring, the actual citronella plant, the kind used in candles and mosquito repellents, isn't considered edible. I've heard it can be quite irritating to the digestive system. Even though it has that citrusy scent, there are other herbs like lemongrass that are a much safer choice if you want a similar flavor in your cooking. Citronella versus lemongrass. From my experience, citronella and lemongrass have a similar citrusy scent, but I find citronella to be more effective as a mosquito repellent, while lemongrass is more pleasant in cooking and herbal teas. Citronella versus eucalyptus. In my experience, eucalyptus oil works well for repelling insects and has a refreshing scent, but citronella seems to be more effective in keeping mosquitoes at bay for longer periods. Citronella versus geranium. Geranium oil has a nice floral scent and works as a mosquito repellent, but I found citronella to be more potent in repelling mosquitoes, though geranium is great for a pleasant-smelling indoor environment. Citronella versus lemon balm. Lemon balm has a lovely, mild lemon scent and works moderately well for repelling insects, but citronella is definitely more effective and longer-lasting when it comes to mosquito control. Citronella versus lemon eucalyptus. Lemon eucalyptus has a strong repellent effect and a unique scent, but I find citronella to be more universally effective and easier to use in various forms like candles and sprays. Citronella versus rose geranium. Rose geranium oil smells wonderful and provides decent mosquito protection, but citronella still takes the lead for its proven effectiveness and stronger repellent qualities. Citronella versus scented geranium. Scented geraniums are lovely in the garden and have a pleasant aroma, but I prefer citronella for its proven mosquito-repelling ability and effectiveness in keeping bugs away. Citronella versus shock bark collar. While a shock bark collar is effective for training dogs to stop barking, I find citronella to be a more humane and natural option for repelling mosquitoes in my outdoor space. Citronella versus thermocell. Thermocell devices are convenient and effective for creating a mosquito-free zone, but I personally favor citronella for its natural, chemical-free approach, even though thermocell offers more immediate results. Citronella versus vibration bark collar. The vibration bark collar is a good choice for dog training, but when it comes to mosquito repellent, I prefer citronella for its effectiveness and natural scent over any training tools. Closing thoughts. Exploring the genus Citronella has been an enriching journey for me. Each species tells a story of resilience, adaptability, and beauty. Whether you're a gardener, a botanist, or someone who simply appreciates nature, delving into this genus is a worthwhile endeavor. I hope to continue learning, growing, and sharing my experiences with these remarkable plants.